Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing? Today I thought it'd be really fun to do a competition and compare the Clionadh Stained Glass Jeweled Multichromes to the Devinah Aurorae Flare Multichromes. I have 4 of the Clionadh shades and I just got 2 of them in the mail recently, which is what I was waiting for to do this video. So I thought I could go ahead and just do some comparison swatches, and then I'm also going to do an eye look and wear Devinah on one side, Clionadh on the other, and then do a wear test for a few hours just so we can really see how they hold up next to one another. And I'm just curious. I feel like from my experience so far, I find the Clionadh Jeweled Multichromes to be a little bit more textured. But overall, both formulas are super shifty, super pigmented, generally easy to work with, so let's go ahead and jump on in. I've got my palette here, and the 4 shades on the bottom are all the Jeweled Multichromes from Clionadh, and then on top I have the 4 Devinah shadows that I feel are the most similar, so those are the ones I'm going to be swatching side by side. There are, I believe, 5 more of the Devinah Aurorae Flare Multichromes. I don't have a full review video up yet, but I'm gonna try and have one done before their site-wide restock on June 10th. Okay, so first we have Trefoil from Clionadh and Exosphere from Devinah, which these are both like really beautiful green, blue, gold kind of shifting shadows. So this finger is Devinah and this finger is Clionadh, just to kind of show you the shifts up close. I mean, they pretty much look identical, and texture wise these two actually look very, very similar. Here's Devinah Exosphere and Clionadh Trefoil. Yeah, I would say those two look pretty much the exact same, even the texture. I mean, definite dupes. Okay, next we have the shade Crown Glass from Clionadh, and I want to say the closest I have from Devinah is the shade Magnetosphere, but I might end up swatching one more because I don't feel like it's a perfect dupe. Crown Glass is like a really beautiful teal, purple, blue shifting moment, whereas Magnetosphere looks a little bit less intense. So here is Crown Glass versus Magnetosphere. So this is what I meant with the texture. You can see Crown Glass is way more intense, even though they have like a similar shift and a similar color story. So here's Clionadh, here's Devinah. I think I'm also gonna go ahead and swatch underneath that Borealis from Devinah. Even though this one has a little bit more teal, it also has like some blue and purple going on, so I kind of just want to see them all side by side. But I think this one's gonna be a little bit too blue. Yeah, almost as if these 2 Devinah shadows had a baby. That's what Crown Glass would be. Yeah, and I mean, just moving it around and everything, I can see the shifts 100% in the Devinah shadows, and they're beautiful, but Crown Glass is just like above and beyond. So I feel like that one definitely wins this round. Okay, next we have Clionadh Oculus and Devinah Polaris, and the shifts on these two are pretty much identical. They look like the same exact color. It's kind of like purple, blue, green, teal kind of thing. Okay, so here is Oculus and here is Polaris. So you can see Oculus from Clionadh is just a little tiny bit more textured, but overall like the level of shiftiness is pretty much the same. So here's Clionadh and here's Devinah. So yeah, again, I would be pretty confident calling those 2 dupes. Super, super pretty. Okay, next we have Devinah Phenomenon next to Clionadh Weathered. And I'm very, very excited to put these 2 next to one another because they look super similar, and I just think that this shade is really, really pretty. So my hands are obviously a mess, but here is Clionadh Weathered and Devinah Phenomenon. So again, they look very similar between the color, the shift, the texture. Here's Clionadh. And here's Devinah. Yep. Oh, come on. So my camera doesn't want to focus and it keeps going out of focus, but yes, I would definitely again call those dupes, and I guess the only one where the texture is really super different is Crown Glass. That one's just like above and beyond one of the prettiest multichromes ever, but all these other ones look like dupes. That last set there, the golden, yellowy, green shades are what I plan on putting on my eyes today just because I think they look so pretty. I'm really excited for this color story. I'm going to try and keep it as simple as possible just so we can like really put all the focus on this shade. So I'm probably just going to go and look with one matte shade in the crease, throw on an inner corner shade, call it a day. So first we should probably go ahead and zoom in so you can see what's happening. And then I'm going to use the Juvia's Place eye primer to prime my eyes today. This is just the shade number 1. I feel like this works pretty well and lasts pretty well with multichromes. Go ahead and throw a little bit of that on and just blend it in real quick. All right, for my crease, I'm just going to go into this mustardy shade in the Natasha Denona Gold palette. Just feel like that'll really complement the lid shade. Throw it on. I'm also going to take just a little bit of this shade right here, Lime Chrome, from that palette and pop that on my inner corner. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take Clionadh Weathered and I'm going to do this eye with Clionadh. So I'm going to start off by taking that on just like a little smudgy brush. This is the BK Beauty 204. And I'm going to run that along my entire lower lash line. I'm also just going to go ahead and take a little bit on my finger and I'm going to pop that all over the lid. And just kind of tapping it into the crease. It is a black base, so I probably could have gone in with something a little bit darker in my crease, but it's really not that big of a deal. I did get just a tiny, tiny little bit of fallout. I'm wiping off my smudgy brush so we have no contamination. I'm gonna go ahead and take Devinah Phenomenon, doing the same exact thing, just picking it up and throwing that along my entire lower lash line to start off with. And then throwing it all over the lid using my finger. I feel like you can see the shadow a little bit, and if I was being a perfectionist, I would probably work harder to fix it, but I don't think it really matters today. I'm not going anywhere, and we're just seeing how they wear, so it's okay. Next time, I forgot with a black base multichrome, I normally try and make my crease a little bit more dramatic so it blends in really, really well, but I would say that they look pretty much the exact same on first application. So the time currently is 3:02 p.m. So that's the time that I'm going to go off of for my wear test, but I'm going to quickly throw on some liner, some mascara, and I'll be right back. All right, so here is the finished look. Everything looks nearly identical, but I'm going to go ahead, go about my day. I'll be back in a few hours. So it is 10:47 p.m. It has been almost 8 hours since I applied my eyeshadow, and I think that it's pretty obvious the Clionadh side looks a little bit better. Overall, the wear is very, very similar, but the shine on the Devinah side is definitely a lot less. It looks like it's worn off more. I think I noticed around like the 6-hour mark more of a difference between the two sides, but now I have to say I'm super curious to see how they would compare with a glitter primer because I use the NYX glitter primer almost every single day. So although I was planning on posting this video tomorrow, I think I'm gonna add another wear test and we'll go ahead and do another look, do 2 different colors, use a glitter primer, and do another full day's wear and see how they compare, because right now I'm like, obviously the Clionadh looks a little bit better, but I feel like we need to do one more test, so let's go ahead and jump on into that. Here we go, round 2. I'm going to be using the Natasha Denona Gold palette again for my mattes, and I'm just going to start off with this blue shade right here. I'm going to go ahead and throw that through my entire crease. Definitely gonna go a little bit more dramatic today. Really need to go to Walmart to get some taco seasoning, so just gonna be living my best colorful smoky eye life. All right, I'm gonna take the deep brown right here just to add a little bit of extra depth to the outer V. Just throwing that right on top right here. Lastly, from this palette, I'm just gonna go ahead and grab this shade right here for my inner corner to add a little bit of sparkle. The shades that I thought I would compare today are going to be these two. the like blue, green, beautiful shifting shades. So from Devinah, we have Exosphere. So I guess I'll just go ahead and do that first. And I'm basically just gonna do the same thing as yesterday, where I'm going to pick some up, throw it along the lower lash line, and then I'm gonna put it all over the lid. But first, we're gonna do some glitter primer. I'm gonna be using the NYX glitter primer. Just gonna pop that on the like inner 2/3 of the lid. Kind of blend it out a little bit and then wait for it to get tacky. All right, now going in with Exosphere. I was trying to do a little bit more of a cut crease look, but I don't think that this is a great brush for that. This is not the right brush to be using all over your lid. That's okay though, we're still getting the job done. And it looks absolutely stunning. And it looks like I got just a few little speckles of fallout, but overall not bad. So I'm gonna wipe off that brush, grabbing some of Trefoil from Clionadh, popping that along the lower lash line. So far looking pretty much identical. Going in with some more glitter primer. Trefoil is picking up a little bit more chunky on my brush. I'm just gonna go ahead and dab that on. Kind of blend it in. So between these two, I feel like I actually do see a little bit more of a subtle difference than what I expected, and I'm actually liking the Devinah one a little bit more. I don't know if you can tell, but it just looks a little bit more bright on the eyes, like it's a little bit of a brighter green. Overall, I mean, the shift looks pretty much the exact same. I don't think anyone would look at me and be like, oh, you've got two different eyeshadows on, but I just really like the brightness going on right here. So that's pretty much the look. I guess let me just quickly, what time is it? So I don't know if you can see right there, the time is 12:47, so that's gonna be our check-in time. I'm gonna go off camera really quickly, throw in some mascara, some liner, lip gloss probably, and I'll be right back. All right, so here is the finished look. I love how it turned out. I mean, you can see the shift really, really well. I'm glad I put a little bit more effort in today than I did yesterday. So I'm just curious to see how much difference the glitter primer makes. I'm gonna go about my day again and I'll be back. So the time is currently 6:51 p.m. It has been about 6.5 hours and I just wanted to go ahead and complete the wear test for today. I have another video I want to film which requires me to do different makeup, so I gotta take this off. But I will say that I actually like the Devinah better today. I feel like it's held up a little bit better, like there's a little tiny bit more creasing going on the Clionadh side, and I just felt like the Devinah one was a little bit more bright. Overall, very, very similar, pretty much the same exact shift. And I feel like my thoughts in the beginning of this video are different than now because I was thinking that Clionadh had like a better texture overall, but I feel like now trying more Clionadh and comparing it to the Devinah, I feel like the Clionadh Crown Glass shade that I showed that I didn't really have a dupe for, I think that's one of their best multichromes. That one is just so special and shifty, but overall I feel like Devinah, if you are willing to use a glitter primer, which honestly is literally like $5, like 2 seconds more, then I think Devinah is definitely comparable, especially since it's a little bit more accessible, a little bit more affordable. Either brand I think does amazing products. You can't go wrong with either of them. But I hope this video was helpful for y'all. I was also chatting to Bad to the Brow, and she did a video comparing a Devinah and Clionadh shadow, and I think she's going to be doing like a little series of this. So I will link her video down below because she compared a shadow from Clionadh, I think Rosetta. I don't own that one, so I'm going to link her. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.